We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
And that was one of President-elect Trump's most common claims during his campaign. Now that claim is causing great concern for immigrant communities across America. Trump has vowed to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, but didn't stop there. He also said that he will try to end birthright citizenship. Trump says he will first deport the undocumented immigrants who are convicted criminals, and said he would move on to families from there. Now, when asked about mixed status families, Trump said he didn't want to separate them and would just deport the entire family.
Governor Reynolds recently announced that she will deploy the Iowa National Guard to assist in mass deportations of undocumented individuals who are in the state illegally and have violated the law.
Many undocumented individuals are wondering what will happen on January 20th. That's, of course, the day that President-elect Trump is sworn into office. WHO 13's Courtney Green sat down with an immigration attorney to discuss steps that families can take now to prepare.
The thought that I have to actually have this conversation causes me to lose sleep.
At a recent coffee chat, parents and members of the community asked what Des Moines School Superintendent Dr. Ian Roberts and district leaders are doing to assist undocumented families.
If a student in elementary, middle, or even high school goes home, it's an empty home, with the understanding now that both parents or their only caregiver has been taken, what happens to that student? And so they're preparing and creating some power of attorney.
Dr. Roberts says he and his team are proactively meeting with immigration attorneys,
particularly for students and families with mixed immigration status.
At a recent Des Moines School Board meeting, board member Anna Campos read a statement on behalf of the board, taking a stand in support of immigrant families. Des Moines immigration attorney Ben Bergman says there are steps individuals can take now if they're in Iowa illegally.
I think having updated documents is important. Immigrants can work with their country's consulates. That here in the U.S., depends on the country, to have all their documents saved somehow, and if it can be saved electronically, the better. That most phones will scan documents as a PDF, and they should scan those. Scan copies of their passports, of their national IDs.
Bergman, who practices at the Parrish Cridenere law firm, says he's seen an influx of new cases while taking calls from established clients
that want to touch base to be sure that everything is okay. It's just a matter right now that I have so many calls that I have to defer them to January that I can't take on anymore.
Bergman suggests undocumented individuals in Iowa should consult an immigration attorney, and those with children or dependents should also consider estate planning. Bergman says many of his clients work hard and stay out of trouble.
What really has to happen is there has to be comprehensive immigration reform, but it might take the American people to actually miss immigrants before they realize that has to happen. Cows don't get milk without immigrants. Eggs don't get collected without immigrants. Roofs don't get fixed without immigrants. Houses don't get built without immigrants. So, I guess we'll all have to see what we're willing to put up with.
In the meantime, Roberts entertains new ideas, but is bracing for the reality that thousands of students may be affected.
I also remain open to hearing from our community members like you. What should we be thinking about, and how can we partner and be helpful? Because again, you're talking about probably more than a quarter, almost half of our students are likely to be impacted in some way.
In Des Moines, Courtney Green, WHO 13 News.
President Trump has vowed on day one to sign executive orders giving federal immigration officers more latitude to arrest people with no criminal records, send more troops to the U.S.-Mexico border, and to restart construction of the border wall.